Oh, the Wii U's turning again?
Alright, so what's the problem now? Dang, man. I remember when people used to slander the Wii U so much, but now there are so many features that the Wii U had that people complaining about the Switch for not having. It's like back then they didn't want you, but the Switch is out, they all love you.
Back then they didn't want you, Switch is out, they all love you. Back then they didn't want you, Switch is out, they all love you. Back then they didn't want you, Switch is out, they all love you. Back then they didn't want you, Switch is out, they all love you. Back then they didn't want you, Switch is out, they all love you. Back then they didn't want you, Switch is out, they all love you. Back then they didn't want you, Switch is out, they all love you. Back then they didn't want you, Switch is out, they all love you.
When the Wii U first came out, y'all showed us so much love. Brand new controller, brand new game shit, it was so much fun. Nintendo's first time in HD, what more could you want? Nintendo started off from strong the 8th generation. But then the sales started dropping, third parties started dividing, games being delayed and cancelled, and heck, some were even lying. Journalists making articles whining, first parties were not supplying. The Wii U did so bad, they thought Nintendo was dying. And now Nintendo Switch is out, Wii U started tapping out. Nintendo re-releasing everything that fans were missing out. Switch UI looks so empty while Wii U still had so many features. Gamers wanting photos instead of an ossuary. Wii U had reverse message, no friend codes, free online, virtual console, with the Nintendo eShop that looked absolutely beautiful. I mean, seriously, how did we go from all of this to just this?
Back then they didn't want you, Switch is out, they all love you. Back then they didn't want you, Switch is out, they all love you. Back then they didn't want you, Switch is out, they all love you. Back then they didn't want you, Switch is out, they all love you. Back then they didn't want you, Switch is out, they all love you. Back then they didn't want you, Switch is out, they all love you. Back then they didn't want you, Switch is out, they all love you. Back then they didn't want you, Switch is out, they all love you.
Before Switch came to fame, they said Wii U had no games, but now they're on the Switch and all they did was change the name. Some say Iwata's to blame, or that the gamepad was lame. Look at the marketing, I will admit I was not entertained. Before Wii U games were on the Switch, before they were so expensive, gamers didn't give a damn when it was here. Too much money, man. Before you went back to use friend code, and playtime locks were so bare bones, gamers didn't give a damn when it was here. I thought we passed before them Joy-Cons started drifting, we were most became forbidden. These gamers didn't give a damn when you was here. And that's because
back then they didn't want you, Switch is out, they all love you. Back then they didn't want you, Switch is out, they all love you. Back then they didn't want you, Switch is out, they all love you. Back then they didn't want you, Switch is out, they all love you. Back then they didn't want you, Switch is out, they all love you. Back then they didn't want you, Switch is out, they all love you. Back then they didn't want you, Switch is out, they all love you. Back then they didn't want you, Switch is out, they all love you.